Go. Hi there, welcome to Kapow WoW Cook. We're going to do meatballs very quick. Now what I have done here, if we look over, I've prepared the meatballs. Leave the meatballs out for about 10-20 minutes from the fridge. I've left these overnight. These are, you can use pork or beef, and I've got onion and parsley in there. So that's why if you leave it overnight, I will show how to do it on another video. So that's my meatballs. Now, because they're going to take fairly long, because we want to brown them off first. So what we're going to do first, before we put them in a meatball sauce, we've got to put them very carefully into the pan. So let them cook, okay? So if they break, it's okay. We're going to cook them carefully, okay? So cook as many as you want. I've made mine fairly small. So obviously the smaller ones will cook quicker than the bigger balls, okay? So that's your choice, okay? So I'm going to just keep them in there now. I might not use all of these now, but I can cook them later, okay? But try and use as many as you can in the pan, okay? Because it just means it's easier to cook more, okay? That should be enough. Let's do a cheeky one, okay? In there. So I'm going to now leave that. You want them to brown because they'll add flavour. If you throw that in with the tomato sauce, that will, with the meatball sauce, it's not going to be very nice. Now, there's all sorts of things you can do with this. We're going to go in with a bit of garlic, okay? So before I do that, let's put a bit of oil in, a little bit. We're going to put a bit of, I'm going to put a bit of garlic in. You could put onions in, but I haven't. So you could put onions in there. I'm going to put a bit of garlic in. Make sure that garlic is not there on its own for long. I'm going to put a chilli in this. Look at this, a chilli, yes, you guessed it. If you don't want it spicy, take out the seeds, okay? But I'm just going to try and see what it's like. This might be too spicy for me. Now what you want to do is, straight away, you want to not leave that garlic, because that garlic, that is smelling good. Well, look at that, chilli and garlic, amazing. But what you want to do, make sure it doesn't burn, you want to put in your tomato. So I'm going to see if 1 or 2 is enough. I might go for another tin, I'll just see. So now we're going to leave that on either side. I'm going to put in maybe half a tin there, so I've got plenty of sauce. The last thing you want to do is not have too many meatballs and not enough sauce. So that's now going to cook. What I have got here, you can add peas, sweet corn. I'm going to throw carrots in, okay? So you can make this as healthy as you want. Again, some parents asking about vegetables. So this should take, I would say, what, 7 or 8 minutes. Now with that, the carrots, the smaller, again, we said service area, the smaller, the quicker they will cook, okay? So we'll do that. So let's see these. So try not to touch these with your hands. So once these are browning, have a look here, look. So we want these to brown on the sides. Now once these have all browned, we'll then cook them in with the sauce. But this just adds flavour, because where it's brown, we call that caramelisation. So that means there's flavour there, okay? So it's going to taste nice, okay? So we're going to cook these, cook them in here, and then we're going to, you could add loads of things to this. You could add paprika if you wanted. You can make it spicy. You could add a bit more herbs, rosemary to this. That is your choice. I'm going to add a bit of Italian mixed herbs, as I always do. Carlo did not want to make this tonight because he said apparently it's not Italian if you throw carrots in. So, hey ho. So now, them carrots, make sure them carrots are cooked, okay? Because the smaller they are, the better. Now, again, don't waste your water. Fill that up. Yeah, and then wash it around the sides, and then you're not wasting any of that juice. And the longer you leave this, better. Most people would cook this for 20-30 minutes, but I'm trying to power on home and show I can do this, just so I've got under 15 minutes, okay? So, like I said, now what I want to try and find, if I can, if it's there, yes. So, just to generate more, or you can look at, yeah, to generate, so I'm going to now steam that, so that's frying and steaming. So I'm going to leave that. Let's have a look at these. Wow, look at that. Okay, so these, come a bit closer if you want. These, make sure these are cooked on every side, because these are adding flavour. Where that is brown, that is flavour, okay? And it's going to taste even more tasty. You could put some curry powder in there as well, so the spicy balls, your choice. You could add paprika to the sauce, okay? So these are nowhere near cooked, okay? We are calling this browning, okay? Okay, there you go. So, now what we're going to do is, so that's now cooking. Them carrots should take about 3-4 minutes. You don't want them mushy. Key fact about vegetables: the brighter the vegetables are when you cook them, the healthier they are. if you overcook them, they lose their brightness and they get darker, and all the good nutrients have gone away. So you can overcook vegetables as well. Okay, so here we go, turning them around. So these are looking really good. Okay, so we want these away. Okay, so now these are looking good. And you want these all brown. And then possibly 4 or 5 minutes. Let's see how long have we had. Let's see. Oh yeah, so 5 minutes, got plenty of time. So what I'm going to start to do now, I'm going to just cook these a little bit more. So I'm just going to show you how you can do this in under 10-15 minutes, but you can cook this sauce a lot longer. Make sure it's not bubbling. So see how, come closer. We don't want it bubbling like this. We want it simmering. So we want it just about cooking. If you just take the lid off like that, so it's not, because what will happen, it'll evaporate and you'll be left with no sauce. Okay, so you'll have to add a bit more water. So like I say, I've got carrots. You could use peas, mushrooms. You could put onions in there. You could use a bit of paprika. Now, just to thicken that up, this is tomato paste. So this will just add a bit of thickness to it. Okay, so just one dollop of it there. Move that in and just look at that. Okay, so all of a sudden, all right, just be careful. Now, if that's spitting, just cover that. See that? I'm doing 2 jobs with 1 there. So now that will just thicken it. Now again, like I said, you should really try to cook this if you can for 30-40 minutes. The longer you leave this, the better, okay? Because we want all that sauce together. I'm going to throw a little bit of my Italian mixed herbs in there. Oh, yeah. No, I thought it was something else then. Right, so I'm going to just throw that in there. You can use parsley, you can use rosemary if you want. That is your choice, okay? So now, that is cooking, okay? So them carrots should take 4 or 5 minutes, okay? Cooked. Now I'm going to take that off there, put that in there. See that? Using and moving. So now these are really brown. See how, because we've not moved them around, they've not broken. If you move them around, they might break. Now, to make those meatballs, what did I use? I used meat beef, you can use 300 grams, it's okay. Onion, egg and breadcrumbs. 2 eggs and some breadcrumbs, okay? So you can add more breadcrumbs before you put them on as well, okay? Your choice. I say you can make them spicy. You could put rosemary in there. Right, so what we're going to do, let's take these out because I don't want these to burn. Okay, so now what's going to happen is by putting these in here, these are half cooked. We're now going to make sure they are cooked. Okay, so this will take 4 or 5 minutes, but again, like I said, I'm doing make sure this is mixing so it doesn't stick. Okay, so make sure you're mixing that sauce. Now, if that sauce is too thick, it will stick. Okay, if it's thick, it will stick. That's a good one, isn't it? And then we put that in there like that. And you want a good amount of meatballs, not too many. If you've got any left, you can eat them later. Okay, look at that. And then we'll mix that in later. Okay, so we can mix it in. Just be careful with them. So just turn them. We don't want to break the meatballs. Okay, let you do that when you eat them. You break them then. Okay, so look at that. That's a really healthy meatball with some vegetables. Yeah, you might want to throw some of that in there because that will add a bit more flavour as well. Okay, all that will be flavour. So I'll leave that there. I'll turn that off. So now we'll just cook that very steadily. Okay, you could add other things in there. You could add a bit of soy sauce if you wanted. But like I said, now what you want to do is make sure that the meat is cooked. So we'll cook that now for 2-3 minutes. But again, if you're not sure if it's cooked, do what Mr. Chris does, cut it in half. I still do that because the last thing you want to do is have meat, eat it, and then you'll be sick the next day. So you've got to make sure when you cook meat, and I'm going to turn it up a little bit more now. I'm going to add a little bit more water because I think if we have a look at it, it's just a bit thick. Okay, so I want to see a little bit of water around the sides. If I can see that, that means it's really good. Okay, so now that's really steaming, and we can see the steam there. Leave that. When you do this at home, try and do it for 30-40 minutes. It will taste better. But there are many ways to do meatballs. Okay, so like I say, in cooking, there's no wrong way. There is a drastic way of doing it wrong. Okay, so I'm just trying now. I'm going to get my plates ready so when this comes out, we can. Okay, so just get that. Okay, so like I say, take your time with that. You can add, if you want, a bit of cheese into that at the moment. These are very good. Look at this over here. Look, Mr. Chris has been recycling. So I've washed these out and used them as for pens. Do be careful because they're very sharp on the inside. So you can recycle them. Mr. Chris is going to recycle. Don't throw away. Okay, recycle. It was Spirit Week. this week. So here we go. So we're doing that now. And look at that. Wow. And we can see that now. Now, if you're not sure, two things you need to test. Carrots and the meat. The meat is the most important. Carrots, that'll be okay. So let's see. They're a bit hard, but I like them hard, so I don't mind. The most important thing is the meat, so let's see how the meat is doing. So we're going to cut it in half. Let's see. Have a look there. Perfect. Now that, you could eat that perfectly now. That is perfect, okay? Because we've got it steaming. Ah, so good. Oh, really good. Look at that. Smell it. He won't. Now I'm going to add a bit of paprika to kick it, okay? Because I tasted them. So always taste it and add things to it if you think, okay? Oh, and that adds a bit of a smoky, spicy vibe. I can smell it already from here. So look at that. So I reckon I'm going to give this one more minute. Make sure that sauce doesn't get too thin. Now, if it gets too thin and it starts to evaporate, just keep adding water like Mr. Chris was doing. But this is a very, very, very simple, healthy. You can use, you don't have to use meat for this. You could use fish if you wanted to, or you could use tofu if you wanted. Right, I'm going to now, because that, I've got to eat this because this is nice. Right, this. Oh, 1 or 2 minutes away. 1 or 2 minutes away. It depends how you like carrots, but like I say, carrots should not be mushy, okay? Because then you lose all goodness. So let's tidy up. Let's put that there. And I'm going to get my spoon, sorry that. You go around, you can have a look. So again, you can do this much slower. The lowest, you don't want it bubbly like Mr. Chris, but I can't get any lower, okay? And keep adding water to that. But the longer you make this, you could add peas, sweet corn, mushrooms. You could use any meat. You could use it without meat. You could just do it tofu. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to plate up. Let's see how long we've got left. Oh yes. So just about perfect. And so let's plate up. Oh, I'll just tidy that. Right, there we go. So just spill. So here we go. So there we have a really nice, simple meatball, okay, sauce. And like, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, what's really good, you can have that with anything. Pasta, Parmesan cheese on top. I think Carl would like that. So that will add a bit of flavour. You could add a bit of Parmesan cheese to that now as well, so you don't have to add it later, or you can add more, but that's your choice. You don't have to, okay? So that is it. Now you could eat this with many things, tortilla wraps or anything, but that is a very easy meatball sauce. There you go.